Whilst tattoos are becoming more socially accepted, it is still a common situation for people, especially those of the millennial generation, to be hesitant in committing to a visible tattoo. Fear it will lead to discrimination and disadvantage within the workplace. Today we're taking to the streets of Perth to see what the people have to say about the stigma attached to our tattoos. Do you think there is a disadvantage against people with tattoos applying for jobs within the corporate and professional world?
Yeah, you could say so. Gives off a bad look sometimes, makes people look dodgy if they're not, but yeah, it can be questionable at times.
Yeah, I mean, people have to cover up, their tattoos when they're going in for like a job interview or something like that. But yeah, I mean, they're just being themselves, you know, they're expressing themselves by getting tattoos. I don't know why they should be discriminated against, but yeah.
I'm not sure. I would have said yes a while back. Now it seems to be a lot more common, so I'm really not sure.
I would say certainly in the UK there probably would be. I haven't necessarily noticed it here.
I probably think so too, if it's super visible, but I mean if it's hidden and you can just see small bits of it, I don't think so, no.
Now, much debate does surround the stigma of tattoos. So personally, if you were an employer, would you adhere to strict dress code policies, including no visible tattoos and no unusual piercings? And why would you hold this view?
It depends on what kind of job it is. Like if it's like a car job, I think it'll be okay, you know, like driving around, truck drivers, no one would really see it. I'm kind of mixed with tattoos, so I'm kind of okay and not okay with it. Like if my kids had it, you know, I'd be okay with it because it's what they want to do.
I'd say it would depend on the situation of the employment, because if you're in the public and people are judging you all day, every day, then maybe you would have something covering it up. But if you're working in a workshop or something, I don't think it would be as important. So I would have it covered up if they're working in retail at the front desk of anything, because obviously people are going to judge you.
I probably would, but it's just my preference, personal preference. I mean, I have tattoos myself, but I don't have any visible tattoos. So, yeah, it's just personal preference, I guess. Yeah.
I think it depends on the profession and what the people are doing. Hospitality seems to be pretty accepting. Some of the more conservative corporate offices, not so much. But I think we've moved along. Society's moved a long way to accepting it a lot more than we did before.
No, I probably wouldn't have that. As long as they're a good person and they have good values, all that, the usual stuff, then it shouldn't be a problem, really. It's all about the character, not the looks.
Yeah, I mean, depends what you're going for, but yeah, I don't think that I would enforce, you know, a really strict dress code. So yeah, just do whatever you want, I guess, you know.
And do you believe the evolving outlooks and greater acceptance on tattoos among young people is a result of a generational gap between the elderly and the young?
I'm not sure. There seems to have been a massive jump in their popularity in the last few years. A lot more people have a lot more tattoos. In the 80s, you'd never see, well, it felt like you'd never see a policeman with them, whereas now you see them with full sleeves. But I've seen a lot of older people with them with more tattoos as well than before, so not so sure.
Yeah, it must be, yeah, because most of the young people that enjoy tattoos because they want to represent something, but then when you're older, you kind of want to just live life.
Hadn't really thought about it, to be honest. Probably yes, yeah. Obviously, as generations grow, I think younger people have more tattoos, more visible tattoos. So yeah.
Yeah, could say so. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people, younger fellas, get influenced by others, and yeah, that could be a strong factor. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there probably wasn't as many sleeves back in the day, sleeve tattoos back in the day, but now there is. So I guess, yeah, I guess you could say that, yeah.
I think they just wouldn't accept it because they're not as used to it, or they wouldn't have had it back then, or they're not. I'm not sure. Sorry.
I also think it's a bit of a culture thing. So I think Australia and New Zealand naturally have tattoos is a bit more, it's way bigger here than what it is elsewhere. And if you get to see it every day and you grow up with it, obviously you would want it and be part of it, yeah. Yeah.
I think it's probably more visible here because it's so hot and you don't wear as many clothes. So in colder countries you wouldn't necessarily know that people had tattoos, so yeah.
This is Annabelle Pinardi reporting for Undercurrent.